What? Okay, I may be just a wee bit excited about this one because, long story short, when it comes to milk, I love ice cream, I love cheese, but when it comes to something like cereal or drinking milk with some Oreos, I can't do it. I'm not a huge fan of milk when it's just plain and by itself. So in times like that, I like to opt for a milk substitute such as almond milk, which is one of my personal favorites, but that can get kind of expensive, especially when you're needing to buy it multiple times a week. So right here in front of me, I have the NUTR machine, which is an automatic nut milk, soy milk, oat milk, etc. maker that's gonna allow you to make your own fresh milk substitute at home with ease. Now this thing is pretty expensive, so I probably wouldn't recommend it even if it works amazingly unless you happen to drink a ton of milk substitute, and then in that case it might be worth the investment, or even if you just think about what's in the milk substitute that you get at the store, you know, preservative wise, etc. Look it up. You might actually just want to get this and make it yourself. So think about it. But with that being said, we're gonna build a sustainable world one glass of nut milk at a time. This thing does offer 3 different heat settings, including room temperature for oat and chilled milks, 140-degree warm temperature for warm beverages and creamers, as well as a hot boiling 212-degree temperature for things like soy milk and rice milk for safe consumption, as well as even if you just want to boil some water for tea or something else. But really the main thing here, like I was saying, is that you know exactly what's in your milk. I personally prefer to make all my stuff at home from scratch so I know exactly what's going into it, because you never know what's inside that milk at the store. There's additives, there's preservatives, there's stuff you don't want, and this is the way to get around that. So with that being said, like I said, I was super excited. This box does look good and also feels sustainable, which is nice to see given that that's their whole approach here. See you on the gram. They want you to tag NUTR machine and hashtag made with NUTR. And if it's as good as I'm hoping, I might just do that. So let's get inside this box, see what we got, and get some milk. Thank you for your purchase. Your order has contributed to a cause for reforestation, and we are planting a tree in your honor. Yes! Love it! So every time they sell one of these, they plant a new tree. So if you get one of these, you're helping plant a tree. Now, without further ado, change the way you milk. We have instructions, recipes, and general information about the NUTR machine. What's this? Oh, we even got some stickers here. Looks like we got a dog sipping on some milk. We got hashtag made with NUTR. Drink more nut milk with a cow. Plant-based milk is my love language, as well as the NUTR itself. I'm liking this presentation. Feels like a premium product. So let's get back onto this little recipe and instruction book. Looks like we have instructions, settings, features, recipes, handling, and warranty. But as far as recipes go, it looks like we do have the general formula for nut milks. You have 2 to 4 tablespoons of your preferred nuts, grain, or seeds. Add 1 to 1.5 cups of water, half a cup for creamer, a pinch of salt, and optional sweetener of your choice. A tip is to blend 2 times for creamier results. We also have instructions for oat milk, almond milk specifically. I guess I'll probably be using this one. Ooh, maple syrup or honey in it? Might do that. Cashew creamer, soy milk. We can have oats, almonds, cashews, soy, hemp, rice, flax, walnut, hazelnut, pistachio, sesame, peanut, pecan, macadamia, pumpkin seed, coconut, and it looks like rice and soy are the ones that definitely need to be used with the hot setting for safe consumption. You can even make smoothies, lattes, seasonal hot and cold beverages as well. I mean, this thing's sounding awesome. I'm just telling you that right now. I'm hoping I'm not going to be disappointed. Fingers crossed. So also inside we do have a brush so we can clean it out. Nice wooden metal design, liking that. We do have a metal strainer here. Oh wow, a stainless steel measuring cup here at 30 milliliters, as well as another one at 15 milliliters. And then right here we have the NUTR machine itself. Ooh, definitely has some weight to it. And is that everything? That is definitely everything. Let me just get this box out the way. And let's move on to the NUTR machine. All right, feels very, very nice. We can lock and unlock the lid. Simple twist, pop it off. Wow, good seal. Inside here we do have a power cable, very thick. Oh wow, I almost stuck my fingers in there, but there's an actual metal blade in there that looks very sharp, obviously needed. Now this is a very nice matte white design, looking great. Over here on the front, use this button to select the settings, so we can just peel this off. Making a little bit of a mess here. There we go. So it looks like we have options for room temperature, warm at 140 degrees Fahrenheit, hot at 212 degrees Fahrenheit, water boil, keep warm, and self-clean mode, as well as a start and cancel, and menu and time delay. Now over on the back, we do have the power port, as well as some warnings about basic stuff. Down here on the bottom, we do have 4 rubber feet to keep it nice and in place, along with some ventilation. And we do have this handle here so you can serve this. Now the thing is, this is more of a self-serve type of thing, so it's mainly for one person. If you're gonna be making it for multiple people, you're gonna need multiple of these, or to make batch after batch after batch. Now one of the things I'm noticing here is, I hope I'm not gonna be disappointed, because right now it's just looking like a blender that has a warm kettle feature. I'm hoping it works exactly how I'm expecting it to. They did say that milk such as almond milk is best served cold or at room temperature, so they do recommend throwing in an ice cube if you want to have it nice and cold. So after looking at this, it looks like things are gonna be a bit different than I was expecting, because the last time I tried to make almond milk at home, I'd use a cheesecloth and it was just kind of a nightmare. I didn't enjoy it, so I'm guessing it just blends all the nuts into a super fine consistency, so that way you can drink it without noticing, because it does say you should blend it twice for creamier results, so we'll see. All right, so we got power here. This power cable is pretty short, but it should work fine on a counter just right here. I'm not really set up for short cables, but we're gonna go by the almond milk recipe inside of the manual and see how it turns out. Got everything washed and clean. We're gonna start off with 2 tablespoons of raw almonds. 2 tablespoons raw almonds, dump it in. We're gonna put 1 tablespoon of pure maple syrup for flavor, a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, just a splash, a pinch of salt, and 1 cup of water. I got some nice cold water here. We'll see if we don't need an ice cube. And 1 cup. All right. We do have a max fill line, and we are just under it, about 1 centimeter. Oh, so it says to run it at room temperature and strain it if desired. So I'm guessing that's what this is for. It's gonna be used as a strainer just in case we don't want to have particles. We'll see what happens. So let's get the lid put back into place. Lock it up. We're gonna toggle through here. We're gonna go to room temperature. There we go. We can look through the top and see what's going on. It's kind of loud. Is it done? Oh no, it's still going. What, is it doing like little pulses here? It says 5. So I think it lets it settle and then blends it some more. Yep, it went down to 4. Looks like it's gonna take about 5 minutes for the cycle. All right, it's beeping. We are done with the 5-minute room temperature cycle. So let's see how this milk turned out. And one thing I forgot to mention, because it came in a separate box, is they actually have like some bundles with this with different kinds of cups. I happen to have this cup right here. I've also seen some Christmas themed one in case you want to get it as a gift. But let's unlock this thing. Take the top off. Ooh. Smells mapley. One of the cool things is it actually senses that the lid isn't on there and won't let you turn it on. It says error 2. So let's do a quick little taste. That actually honestly looks very smooth considering I didn't take out the nuts. Looks delightful, right? What? I guess there's like a tiny bit of grittiness. There might be more stuck at the bottom, but I mean, it tastes good. Obviously it could be colder, so I would definitely recommend throwing in some ice cubes if you want it colder, but wow. Impressive for being the first cycle. Now it did say to do 2. Let me try a little bit more. Okay, I do see some pieces of nuts in there, so you might want to strain it if you don't want it. It's kind of like having pulp in some juice. I mean, it tastes good. Huh. Now I do feel some grittiness in my mouth, so I am gonna do it for another cycle just to see what happens. Second cycle is done, and as I was waiting for, well, as I was waiting, what is that? Like, it's not hot. That's, I don't know what that smoke is. As I was waiting for the 2 5-minute cycles of 10 minutes total, it got me to thinking, is this just an overpriced personal sized blender that also has a heat function? Because I feel like, couldn't you just do this in a blender? If you don't need the heat option, a blender would work fine. And if you do have a blender, you can heat up the water to a boil first and then blend it with the stuff, and I guess it'd be the same thing? Maybe? But if you're just making almond milk, couldn't you just do this in a blender? And maybe at a larger scale? Oh, it definitely got warm this time. Still a bit gritty. I mean, it tastes good though. I'm actually kind of curious how much this strainer will actually take out, because those are really fine particles. I don't think it can really take all that out. Let's try it. Okay. Okay, it's draining through pretty slowly, so I guess that's a good sign. Looks like it is capturing the particles. Oh yeah, I can actually see the particles. This might actually be working. Oh, whoa, hold up. There's a lot down there at the bottom. No wonder it's taking so long. I mean, I guess the nuts have to go somewhere, right? Oops, just spilled it. Oh, there's a ton of nuts down there. You see, so that, I mean, that's a blender. So is there anything special about this other than it being able to heat up milks that need to be heated up? If you're just making almond milk or some kind of nut milk that doesn't need to be heated up, do you need this? I mean, it's pretty pricey, and if you could just use a blender and get the same results, I don't see it's doing anything special other than the heat. Let's see how this is. Still has some grittiness. You see, that's why when I made it the first time I'd use a cheesecloth. That way it captured all the particles. When you're using something like this strainer, the really fine particles go right through. Don't get me wrong, it tastes good. I would definitely enjoy this. I mean, it tastes great. Freshly made and everything. The thing is, though, it's just a blender. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But if I'm just making this almond milk without using any of the heating functions, it's a blender. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what you think of this, if you're gonna pick one up for yourself, or let me know if it's just a blender. I mean, I can't really think of any reason it's not a blender other than the heating function, which I won't be using unless I'm never gonna make soy milk. I'm never gonna make rice milk, so I don't need the heating function. Obviously you can use it as a kettle, but if you already have one of those and a blender, you don't need it, right? It's one step, I guess, but very weird now that I'm thinking about it. But do correct me if I'm wrong and this is more than just a blender, because it looks like a blender that you can't see through. Has a very nice design. It works well, but if it's just a blender, then I don't see it. Obviously, I'm going to be using it for my almond milk, but at the end of the day, I think it's just a blender. Prove me wrong.